Hey guys, don't forget to check out the 3 brand new Orabomb shirts that just dropped, all coming in a variety of colors. Links are in the description if you guys are interested. Now, on to the video. Hey guys, welcome back. Orabomb here, bringing you another one of our live deck profiles. And today is another one of these decks that I'm taking very seriously. Right alongside of Rayquaza, we are playing some Naganadel. Naganadel deck today. Naganadel metals. I'm actually really excited to show you guys this list. I've been brainstorming this list for quite a long time. I think it has its own place post rotation. I think it has its own place in the meta, and I can't wait to show you guys all the information about it. Before we get into the video, drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already, because we are just chugging along with these post rotation deck profiles and matches and things like that. So likes are always greatly appreciated. It makes me feel like I'm doing a good job for you guys. And answer a comment question today. Today is going to be, what do you think is the weirdest looking Pokemon? To me, ever since these Ultra Beasts came out, I don't even feel like Pokemon to me. Naganadel is like so weird looking, bro. As far as like what Pokemon goes, it's one of those things where I feel like it belongs more as a Digimon than a Pokemon. But I digress. Let me know in the comments down below for a chance to win a couple of codes. And yeah, let's just get right into it. We are playing 4 Poipole, originally played 3. There is going to be a couple numbers I do talk about that I feel like could be changed, or because this is a deck I'm taking very seriously, right? We've been talking about it on Discord as well, and people are building this, and people like it, and I like it, and it's all just a good time, and it's it's fun, and you know what I mean. But there's a lot of different things you can play around with this deck. You can play it straightforward, you can tech it out, things like that. But anyways, back to what I was doing. 3 Poipoles. Now, Poipole is actually really interesting. And dude, I'm just thinking like future deck ideas of Poipole. I can't wait to give it a try. But Poipole 70 HP is good. Spit Poison is good because you can poison, put some damage on the board. That's always strong. And then you have Naga, good old Naganadel. I need to buy them. These are not mine. These are my buddy Kate's. And I really need to get myself a couple full arts because I actually really like Naganadel. But 210 HP Psychic type Pokemon, which is weak to Psychic. Now, that's not great because if Malamar is super good next format, it's going to be weak to Psychic. But worst case scenario, or not worst case scenario, but because there's probably going to be no Field Blower in the next rotation, there's not really much of a reason to play Field Blower in a lot of decks, and that gives you more space to play more consistency cards. It does give you options to play really cool tech like Weakness Policy or something like that. So if Dawn Wings and Necrozma and the Psychic type attackers becomes really powerful, Weakness Policy is always a card you can actually play. And I know we live in a world where I am saying that seriously. I did not want to live in this world, but because there's no more Parallel City, because there's no more Garbotoxin, there's gonna probably be a lot less Field Blower, unless like you're one of those decks that really are afraid of Choice Band or like, I don't know, stadiums. Then I don't think you shouldn't be playing Field Blower in my opinion. But that's just me. But yeah, but its first attack does 20 damage for each Ultra Beast on your board. So that's really good because you can hit up to 120. Realistically, you only need to hit about like 110 to take 2 KOs on most Pokemon, 100 as well. So let's just say that you have 3 Ultra Beasts on your bench with this in the active and like 2 Lele's. As long as you have a Choice Band attached to this thing, you're still hitting that 110 number. So you're still hitting 2 KOs, while most of the time avoiding being knocked down 1 hit, just avoiding things like that in general. So Naganadel comes in super clutch there. Its second attack, which you can only use if you have a Beast Energy attached, is Jet Needle. This card is unaffected by weakness or resistance for whatever reason. I don't know why they had to nerf the card like this, just let it hit for weakness. But anyways, 110 doesn't hit for weakness or resistance, but with a Choice Band and a Beast Energy, you are hitting 170, which does knock out Lele's. Same with that first attack, you can hit 180 with a Choice Band and a Beast Energy if you have a full bench of Ultra Beasts. So you can hit those OHKO numbers. It's really situational, but it's a possibility. Then you have Stinger GX here. Both players shuffle their prize cards into their decks, and then each player puts the top 3 cards of the deck in their prizes instead. So you can essentially reset the board, put you and your opponent in equal terms. Depending on the board state, it's useful. Most of the time, you're going to be using other GX attacks, like Staka's GX attack is good for OHKOs. We also played Duskmane Necrozma here for OHKOs as well, so we're going to talk about those in a second. But Naganadel, I like it because of all of its options. So Naganadel, definitely a cool card. Now, the reason why I'm revisiting this deck, and I know that we revisited this deck, I know we played this deck when Duskmane Necrozma came out, but I revisited it because it felt like a completely new deck to me because of the boy Stakataka. Now this big old box of Legos has 180 HP, which is actually pretty disappointing. Like we have all these 190 HP Pokemon. This is supposed to be like fat defensive brick wall that covers the border. And anyways, it's supposed to be a wall. How do you do a Trump accent? You got to, I don't know how to do Trump accent, guys. I don't know, I can't do it, bro. 180 XP, which is not great, but its ability is really cool. It prevents damage to your Ultra Beast Pokemon by 10. It reduces damage to your Ultra Beast Pokemon by 10 in the bench, in the active, to itself, all that. So once again, it does in fact stack, hence the name Stakataka, you know what I'm saying. But if you have all three out, you're reducing the damage that's being done to you by 30, meaning in order to hit Oko you, they have to hit 240 XP. Now, you can just constantly increase the HP numbers of Naganadel. You can play bodybuilding dumbbells, is that what it is? Muscle dumbbells, whatever they're called. You can play a fourth Stakataka. The problem is you don't usually have the bench space for it, so I'm sticking down to 3. If you play like 4, and if you have more than 250 HP, you can avoid being knocked out by unbanded Dawnwings. Problem is they're probably going to be banded. So I'm not too worried about that. It's whatever. I'm just gonna play 3 and then just like maybe taking weakest policies. I'm currently not playing any right now because we have to see how good Mewmore is post rotation. I'm a firm believer that it's gonna be really good, but you never know, right? So for the time being, and we also have other Pokemon like these metal types that can tank hits as well and be max potion, but you just can't attack with them, right? So it's gonna be pretty stally. But regardless, 180 HP, and then a second attack does 120 for 3, and its third attack is actually pretty cool. I believe it does 50 damage for each prize card you have taken. So late game, you can do like 200 damage, 250 damage. You can do a lot of damage late game, which is really cool. So that's why its GX attack is pretty useful. And yeah. Of course, we do have other Pokemon in here that can attack as well. We have, of course, 2 Duskmane Necrozmas. We all know what it does, but it has 190 HP and can tank hits because of its metal typing. It's resistant to Psychic, and it has those 3 attacks. Usually what happens for me is that I attack with Naga, and I keep attacking with Naga until I get knocked out, and then I use my Ultra Space, set up a Duskmane, B-string it onto it a couple of times, and then start taking knockouts with Duskmane Necrozma, while I continue to set up my board as well, which is why I like the Duskmane Necrozma in this set. So you can do the same thing with Stacka, but usually Duskmane Necrozma can take care of the job a lot easier. You can also GX and then hit for 250, and then next turn attack again with another manual attachment, and just go from there. It's really, really strong. So yeah, overall, I kind of like Duskmane. We're playing 2 of though. I don't feel like you need to play 3. I could play 3, and but I just like, the thing is, the reason why I'm playing 4 Poipole now is I'm trying my best to not lead with these cards. Of course, I do have a higher chance of leading something that isn't Poipole. But you know, whatever. What can I say? I'm playing 1 of Kartana. Kartana, in my opinion, is not as useful post rotation because there's a lot less like special energies out there, but nonetheless, it could help you a little bit in your Zoroark matchup. Its GX attack is just amazing in some situations. So I always like to put in a 1 of Kartana. Not to mention, we're also playing an Ultra Recon squad in this deck. So having access to being able to discard a couple of Ultra Beasts that we don't need for some matchups like Kartana could prove to be very useful. We're playing a 1 of Baby Duskmane, literally one of my favorite cards to have ever been printed. It's another Ultra Beast, 130 HP is really hard to hit, so that's good. Then you have Dust Shot, which does 60 damage to one of your opponent's EX or GX Pokemon. So in this case, it's just GX after rotation. But that's really, really powerful. I'm trying to see if I can get off the bar. There we go. It's really powerful. It's another Ultra Beast. Oh, its second attack is actually kind of useful too. I have used it a couple of times. Rusty Claws, if your opponent has exactly 1 prize card remaining, this attack does 100 more damage. So if you can set this up and like time it correctly, you can actually take some huge knockouts with Rusty Claws. So Rusty Claws, not too bad. This card, not too bad. I want to play a 2 of count, so I might look into playing a 2 of count. Just increasing, what I want to do is increase my Ultra Beast counts of cards in this deck so I can play Ultra Recon Squad. Ultra Recon Squad is incredibly powerful if you can build your deck to deal with it. Because when you discard 2 Ultra Beasts and you draw 6, that's not shuffle draw 6, which is really cool because not only is that amazing just drawing your cards and giving yourself big hands, but also it can help you in some like scenarios where you want to shuffle draw, but you don't want to at the same time because you have B strings in your hand that will probably be active next turn, so you want to keep them in your hand. It's really good for those scenarios as well. But yeah. That's pretty cool. Now, one card that's pretty controversial as far as like my Discord goes, and I'm still testing the deck, so I still want to see if it's even worth playing in here, and that is Solgaleo Prism. Reason why Solgaleo Prism is in here is because of course Radiant Star, being able to put your opponent in checkmate positions by setting up both your Duskmane and sometimes even you can set up either 2 Duskmanes or even a Stakataka to GX late game. Each of your for each Pokemon your opponent has in play, you can attach a Metal Energy from your discard pile to your Pokemon any way you like. And you also have Chrono Impact that can take big knockouts to 160, 190 with Choice Band. So it's a good way to put your opponent in checkmate position, but it's not an Ultra Beast, so it doesn't increase your Naga output. In my opinion, as long as you're hitting 110, which is consistent enough, you're fine. Even if you're not hitting 110 and you're not taking 2 KOs, you're fine as long as you have like max potions and stuff like that. But I think the card is fine in this deck. Some people in my Discord don't like it as much, which is understandable. But for the time being, I'm trying it out. And once this deck officially comes out and I can start playing these decks more, I'll test it a lot more and then we can go from there. Right now, I'm in the process of just playing all these decks to make sure I have videos out for you guys. But this I feel like isn't too bad. We're also playing, of course, what's a deck without 2 Lele's? Hold on, we got them right here. 2 Lele's. But that's going to be the Pokemon lineup, guys. As you can see, that is 4, 10, 13, 14 Ultra Beast. It's a pretty good number. 14. You're usually only going to want to... there's going to be so many times where you can discard your Pokemon and then stretcher them back into the deck. I'm actually playing 2 stretchers in this deck because of the Ultra Recon squad. The number can change because I'm only playing 1 Ultra Recon squad now. I was playing 2, and I found that I was only able to get off 1 per game, or my opponent was, because my opponent was only played it, not me. But you know, I'm studying to make sure that the deck. So I'm studying their plays to make sure that my deck is running smoothly. And it looks like they were only able to use 1 Ultra Recon squad successfully, because like I feel like it's not super successful unless you're discarding 2. But so I brought it down to 1, which means that the stretcher count can probably be brought down as well. But you know, that's just another option for you guys. We are playing 4 Ultra Balls and 4 B-Strings, standard stuff. You want 4 B-Strings. You want 4 B-Strings because you need to be able to land your B-Strings every single game. If you're not able to land your B-Strings, then it feels a lot weaker, but that's just Ultra Beast decks in general, right? So 4 B-Strings, good stuff. I'm playing 2 switches. You can up this to 3, you can up it to 4, but everything in this deck is super heavy, super heavy. So you want to make sure you have switch as an option at all times. That's why I am playing 2 switches. And once again, you can up to 4. I am playing 3 max potions. I ended up cutting a max potion 4 switch because the mobility was so rough the first game, because we were playing 0 switches at first, thinking that Guzma could carry us. It just couldn't carry us, man. I really want 4 max potions though. Max potions are so good in this deck. So once again, I am still working on numbers. Like I said, I can cut not any Ultra Beasts, but I can maybe cut like one of these stretchers, because I am playing 2 stretchers for another max potion. But at the same time, I want to increase my energy count, but we'll talk about that in a second. I feel like 2 switches is fine. I want to play 3, but I feel like 2 is fine. And I could definitely cut a stretcher for a max potion. I don't feel like that's a horrible idea, but once again, I got to test things first before I'm confident in saying anything. It's untested, so I'm not giving you guys that in the profile because I don't know if it's great yet. But max potions are good. Once again, let me go over the reason why we like max potions. Just in case I know some people don't pick these things up and they ask questions later. Naganadel, very bulky Pokemon with Stakataka, 1 energy attack that you want to consistently be hitting. So you max potion the Naganadel every time it gets weakened, put another energy onto it and attack again. And just do that over and over again until you win the game. So that's the strategy there. Once again, I am sorry I keep muting. I just have to cough, guys. My throat is agitated. But anyways, supporters. For Cynthia, this deck, in my opinion, needs Guzma because you don't want your opponent to avoid being knocked out. That's blasphemy. You got to make sure you're constantly knocking them out. So for Guzma, this deck also increases your mobility. So mobility is important. Without Flowstone, dude, this format is so harsh without Flowstone, man. I'm not gonna lie. Other cards we're playing. 1 Ultra Recon squad. Once again, I do want to make it 2. We're gonna stick with 1 for now, and we'll test 2 later with an increase of like maybe baby Duskmanes or something like that. And we're playing 2 Judge as well. Sorry for the different artworks there. You know how much I hate that personally. 2 Judge just to continuously disrupt your opponent. Another card I want to try in here is Palpad, but for the time being, this is what we're rocking with. And no Copycat in here either. But once again, I just really don't like Copycat, so if I don't have to play, I won't. The Ultra Recon squad is good. I do want to increase the draw support count now though, because I did cut a Ultra Recon squad, so there's 1 less draw supporter in there. So that could probably change, but we'll have to see later. We are playing 3 Ultra Space, not 4. I don't feel like you need 4. 3 is pretty good on its own, and you know, space is important, so we're just sticking with 3 for now. 3 Choice Band because you know you want to make sure you're hitting those 2 KO numbers. So 3 Choice Band seems good to me. And once again, this does go back to what I was saying earlier. You could play cards like weakness policy, you could increase the choice band count, you can't increase the max pushing count. There's a bunch of different numbers. That's the thing with this deck. I feel like, excuse me, I feel like besides cards like weakness policy, I've covered all the bases of what I feel like a successful Naganadel metal decks would look like post rotation. Of course, besides the draw support count, those you can play. What I want to start doing now is actually just play like different draw support numbers and play Palpad. So I feel like that's just like in my testing with decks like Rayquaza. Now Rayquaza obviously needs Palpad, but I just feel like I like that way more. But I feel like I've covered the basis of what a successful Naganadel deck is probably going to look like. So at this point, it's all about changing your numbers around, in my opinion. But we're playing 1 Beast Energy and 4, 8, 10 metals. Now the metal energy count has felt low to me, so I'm thinking about increasing it to like 12 or something like that. But like I said, like the numbers are so confusing to play. And if I had like a good week or 2 weeks to like work on these decks, I'd definitely be able to give you guys a better results in my opinion. But for the time being, this is a really good basis to start off with. 10 energies has been fine for me. It's not like the worst thing ever. You can cut cards, you can cut like our Sokoleo Prism and that second max potion, maybe put in an 11th energy and another max potion or something like that. But regardless, that's going to be the 2 decks over here that we have for you guys today. Definitely don't forget to drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Subscribe for all the good jams. Answer that comment question today for a chance to win a couple of codes. Let me know what you guys think about Naganadel Stakataka. I'm actually really excited about this deck. Of course, you know, there's always Naga Buzzwole, Naga fighting. I mean, that's good, don't get me wrong, but I really like the idea of playing Stakataka. I like the fact that you can tank out hits and play like bulky offense. That's a format. That's a playstyle that didn't really exist in this current standard because everything is all about Oko. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Drop a like, subscribe, share, all that good jazz. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.